And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the SC4ALL NA Offline American Tournament. Day number 1, we are jumping into the second round of the Swiss Stage, and spawning in the right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the American Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Root Gaming. It is a Creature. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player from the land of the Americas. It is a Silky. Here we go. We are jumping into the second round of the Swiss Stage. Remember, there are 6. There are 6 rounds in total, and then after the Swiss Stage, then we have the group stage. It's going to be a lot of StarCraft. I think the estimated time is going to be 8 hours. It's going to be at least an 8-hour cast, but because they started an hour late, we're leaning towards 9. At least 9, maybe 10. Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's gonna be a long day of StarCraft, baby. It's gonna be a long day. Beautiful, beautiful. For now, though, we are moving out. We do have our initial hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Silky, as we should be seeing our gas and pool follow-up. Meanwhile, Creature setting up on the low ground as well. Again, when it comes to these 2 players here, these are 2 of the players that we do expect to make it through into the next round, into the group stage. I would say that Silky and Creature are probably the top 2 players in the, oh no, my apologies. What am I talking about? Foxer, of course. I would say these 2 are like top 3. I would say that maybe Creature, Silky, and Foxer, they're like top 3 players here in the Swiss Stage, so we do expect them to make it out. But there's plenty of room for more players, of course. Plenty of room for more players to actually advance on as well. That's where other players like, say, Vast or Groovy or Zesty or Berry Crunch or Jon Snow and some of these other guys, Pengy even as well, can advance on even further to greater heights, to greater rounds. Oh boy. For now, though, we are going to be settling in. Everything's looking normal for the time being here. Now, Creature, he's a player that retired quite some time ago, but actually he returned to StarCraft last year, so in 2024. In 2024, did return to competitive play. He was playing in OSC events, he was playing in Cheesadelphia, he was actively competing, improving, and he's a pretty standard player, is what I was getting at. He's not really too cheesy. He's not really one to go for these crazy all-ins or early glaive timings. Stargate into Oracle into a 3rd base into +1 Blink Stalker is what we're expecting. We'll see if we'll see if Creature does deviate. But again, he was an active pro player many years ago, retired for a couple of years, and did come back in 2024. And has been looking decently in form. Oh, also, before I forget, of course, if you're in the chat, it's Gamma time. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, whether this will go the way of Silky or Creature. Coming into this, it's hard to really gauge the skill level of Silky. I was alluding to that previously, but Silky has been going for a long time. So if he was in shape, if he was in form, if this was like 2022, 2023, I would say Silky, he's favored 100%. But all these years later, I can't say that with certainty. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Creature, but we'll see. I'm sure it's like riding a bike. We'll see if Silky can recover to his full form. Yo, shout out to J Hefe in the chat. Where's J Hefe in the bracket? True. Where's where's my Hefe? ¿A dónde está, papi? ¿A dónde está? SMH. I don't see him, papi. I don't see him. So now links that you poke in. We have the Oracle that is about to pop out. Second Oracle, I should say. I would just see Silky going for the early Evo Chamber. Okay, so earlier Evo Chamber, typically indicative of +1 melee. This is a little bit mistimed, though, as the gases aren't quite lining up with this. So need a little bit more gas, a little bit more time to get into melee upgrades. 3rd base was taken. We do have the Forge and Twilight Counter follow-up. This looks like +1 and Blink. So standard follow-up. There's that melee upgrade on the way. So far, everything's looking normal. Everything's looking standard from both players. Everything's looking very meta, I should say. Spam this "Hey guys" to help out Nick. Doesn't even rhyme. What are you? What are we trying to say? God damn it! We need some better copy pastas in the chat, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Better copy pastas. What are we trying to say? As double Oracle does slip into the main. Oh. It's 1, 2, 3 drones so far. Oh, chick. Okay. I guess. You're reaching for that one, papi. You're reaching. You're ah. So we go. As we have a layer on the way, gases are being taken. Silky is going to be settling in. And typically with +1 melee, the goal is to skip banelings, right? Sorry, to skip roaches. You skip roaches, skip roach production, go into a more Ling Bane heavy composition in towards Hydra tech. So Silky is getting there. Likewise, a creature is moving out. Stalkers have been amassing. Blink is almost done. And the goal here should be to break the fourth. To break the fourth base. Thankfully, Silky is double expanding. Oh. Stalkers poke in. Blink is not yet done. Still a couple seconds away. Stasis Trap gets baited. Nice bait by Silky. Collapsing on the Stalkers. Oh, it barely doesn't get one. Stalkers, they barely blink away. And Creature, he does escape with all his Stalkers. No losses yet. But he doesn't break the expansion. The fourth base gets him running. Fifth base is on the way as well. Layer is done. Hydra is in production. Silky is getting to his Ling Bane Hydra. He's almost there. And Creature backs off. And Creature, he pulls away. He retreats, getting his own fourth expansion. And Silky's free to drone. He's free to drone up, free to saturate. Silky's looking a lot more comfortable, and we'll see when and if Silky does stop droning. When he does cut workers, and whether or not Silky decides to take up. From this point forward, we could see an infestation pit, a lurker den, working towards hive tech, or we could see Silky maxed out on Ling Bane Hydra on a lair tech army instead. Bathing Rumba was attempted. Creature does defend. Defends well, pulls away. Here comes another waddle by. Ooh, Stasis goes up. Banelings are shut down. Storm is on the way for Creature, and again, Creature, he's going to be more defensive. He's going to turtle up on 4 bases. He's going to be the defender, and Silky is indeed looking to max out. He droned up to 77, 4-base saturation, almost there. But there's no other tech. There is no lurker den, there is no infestation, but he's looking to max out on Ling Bane Hydra and try to break the fourth. Now, this kind of style is a little bit weaker. I say a little bit weaker. There's a bit of a give and take here in the current meta. Storm is such a powerful zoning tool now. Storm is a greater tool than it once was defensively here. Just because it lasts that much longer, just because that was going to be that much more effective, specifically against all-ins, specifically defensively here. Meanwhile, Banelings have extra HP. So Banelings, they can survive extra ticks from Storm, and they can try to collapse and get on top of the High Templar, break through, and shut them down. Shut them down before they spend all their Storms. We'll see if Silky can get on top of the Templar. We'll see if he can break through. Speaking of Templar, there's only 3. There are only 3 High Templar. It's going to be 3 Storms. So far, Stalkers are going down. Storms are a little bit late. Oh, the Templar gets 1. 1 Templar goes down, he gets 1, he gets almost 2. Yeah, massive pickoffs. 2 Templar remaining. Without Storms, there's no defense. That should have began with that, actually. Storms are in the way. 1 hatchery does go down towards Rumbai. But these are expensive losses for Creature. Ay, ay, ay. That was what? That was 13 Stalkers going down. Stalkers are the kind of unit that you want to maintain over the course of the game. You want to preserve them, but that was a brutal loss here for Creature. Meanwhile, Silky's rebuilding, remaxing, more Hydras, more Lings, getting ready for wave number 2. It's getting ready for the second round. Oh, Stasis goes off. Nice Stasis. Ling Bane on the right hand side. Creature forced to defend on 2 bases. He only has 4 High Templar. Storms are still very limited here for Creature. Creature, he has Warpins. We need the High Templar. They'll get 4 more on the way. So again, he's spread very thin. Yeah, High Templar goes down. Oh, Immortal gets exposed. Bit of miscontrol there from Creature. He's not one of the Immortals. Oh, spends 2 Storms. We're counting Storms, but Creature, he more or less holds. Even though we've seen a little bit of a shaky defense and Creature's been losing some high-tech units, he has preserved the economy, more importantly. Right, the economy is up and running. Second Robo has completed, making 2 Immortals at a time. And Creature is defended. Silky has recognized this, and now he's taking up Spire and the Infestation Pit. Now, I had assumed it was going to be Lurker Tech. That you go into Hive Tech, then into Lurkers, into Hydra Lurker Viper. But the answer is no. It looks like Silky's maybe thinking about either Immunoswitch or, more importantly, Broodlords. A High Templar, they're exposed. They need a buffer. They need some support. Oh my god. Templar, they barely pull away. Hydras, they collapsing in. They get into the middle line. 12, 13 probes going down. And the base falls. Yeah, Silky, he has done it. This one he has done it. He breaks the 4th. And now from here on forward, it's going to be even easier to break this position. So the defenses have fallen for Creature. Silky's building up. Is indeed going for the Lurker Den, okay. Why not both? What can was lost? Oh, Bailey's, they collapses over the High Templar. They force in the Archons. Yeah, they force out the Archons instead. And that means 0 Storm. Yeah, 0 Storm remaining. Silky can just keep rallying in. He can and he will. Just 2 more Archons. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. And at this point, it's a foregone conclusion. Creature, he could try to muster up his forces and try to pull off an all-in. If he can build up enough Archons and High Templar, then he could try to go for one big push through the center of the map. But the problem here is he's on a timer because here come the Lurkers. As the Lurkers build up, there's no way to push into that, not with this kind of army. Not like this. Immortals, they can break through Lurker lines, but specifically with Creature being down in supply, not having much of a supply to work with, it's looking unlikely. He's getting up to 10 Immortals, okay. Base goes down, Lurkers are out of position. And Creature, he will knock down this expansion, okay. So, as we mentioned before, it's kind of one and done here. Creature, he doesn't really have much of an economy behind this. He has 71 workers, he does have the low ground expansion, sorry, the southern expansion, true. But this is it. He's got his Death Ball, gets one of the bases. Lurkers, they respond. We have Sky Toss on the way. Can Creature survive until Sky Toss? No shot. There's a recall. Does recall back. Creature does have a backup 4th base, but there's no site defense. Yeah, no cannons, no shield batteries. Silky, he's going for it. Oh. He's slowly moving in. Spine shots, they pop off. Lings, they do hit the triangular 3rd. And Silky's going for the kill. Again within range of the mineral line. Creature's being zoned away from the rest of his bases. Oh no! The Immortals, they clump. Yeah, the Immortals, they clump up. That's 3 Immortals going down. Brutal damage. Silky is going for the kill. He's hitting critical mass of Lurkers. The Lunkers, Pappy is moving in. Sin takes down the Nexus. Takes down the mineral line. Immortals are going to try to break through this, and looks like a creature he can. We'll clean up the army, and then we're going to go. Now we just got to counterattack immediately. Like, there's no macroing from here. Oof. But alas, no detection. No observers. Observer production has... We have observers on the way. No detection, papi. This creature again, he's down to what? He's down to 5 high tempo. We get some decent storms. Get some okay storms on the army, but again, like, there's no reinforcements here. We're trying to rally out. Broodlords are coming in. Only a handful of them, but there's no anti-air, right? There's no stalkers, no archons, no way to punish. Broodlords, they can just slowly chase this down. Archons are on the way. But again, it's just been an uphill battle here for Creature ever since he lost his 4th. It was just a shaky defense. It's very shaky. Never quite got into a Sky Toss. Never quite stabilized. I mean, Creature's he's trading decently well here. He's getting on top of the lurkers. A lot of lurkers are going down, but once again, there's no anti-air. Yeah, this should be the final army. GG gets called, and Silky, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. He will take a lead in the series. Again, Creature, he had a very hard time defending his 4th base. He was able to build up and get some high Templar, but he was just bleeding off too many units. I'm referring specifically to the moment when he lost 13 Stalkers. We had some crazy losses at the 4th base for Creature, losing a lot of momentum, losing the buffer that was meant to be with his army, and without it, his Immortals are exposed, the high Templar are exposed. GG. GG, well played. He just was unable to retain and build up that gateway composition. And in the end, he was broken. And with that, Silky takes the lead. Silky does take a lead. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Surprisingly, we already have some games finishing up as well. It makes sense. Maples and Full Heart, they already wrapped up. I mean, that would have been a very fast series between the two of them. But now we are getting ready for game number 2. Gonna be on Gressman. Okay, let's go. We're going back to Gressman. It hasn't been that long, right? Gressman, that was in the map pool, what, back in 2021? 2022? During some of like the later COVID years, right? If I recall correctly. Hasn't been too long. Let's have a look. 2023. Oh, there you go. It's early 2023. That's when it came online. It's relatively recent. Hasn't been that long. And we're back. We are back. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gressman, we have the American Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and bring us to the ace match. For Root Gaming, it is a Creature. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Silky. Here we go. As Silky, he was able to weather the storm. Initially, it was Silky defending his 4th base, if you recall. He was able to shut down the Stalker aggression, maintain his 4th, and after he defended the 4th base, he looked very comfortable. He joined up to 77, teched up into Lair Tech, into Massling Bane Hydra, and that's when the aggression began and never did quite stop. Likewise, welcome to Greswan. Greswan is a very large map from back in the day. Large map. The map pool was active back in 2023, and we often do see longer and later games on this map. There are a lot of bases, they're relatively defendable, and it is going to be quite difficult to break a defending 4-basing player. We'll see if Silky can pull that off. We'll see if Creature can get into Skytoss. I expect to see a very similar game. I expect to see Creature play standard, go Stargate into a 3rd base, into +1 Blink Stalker, into a more defensive setup, into a 4th, into potentially Skytoss, right? Like, we expect that out of Creature. We'll see how Silky does mix it up. He could play the same, or we could even see Spire play, right? Especially on a larger map like Greswan, going into Spire, going to Mutas is viable, especially on the latest patch, where the Spire does finish even faster. So going into like some kind of hidden tech structure is going to be a possibility here for Silky if he wants to try to break Creature early on. It is a risk, of course. It is a risk. So far, Silky getting into link speed. It does pull out. Pulls out, taking his 3rd. Oh, and we're actually making an extra pair of lings. Okay, so 6 lings are in production. Getting up to 10 in total. And with this, the goal should be to catch the Adept and potentially even try to break the 3rd. Eyes are on Silky. That's going to be zoned away. Creature should soon be expanding. There's the 3rd base. With link speed finishing up, Silky can try to apply pressure and potentially even catch the Adept, maybe get a probe kill. Link speed is done, but Silky is going to be up. There we go, being active. Does move out. If Creature isn't careful, he could get surrounded. Oracle does move out. Adepts, they do pull back. Decent positioning. Oh, attempts to surround. It does pull away in time. Looks like 1 Adept should fall, but maybe only 1. Oh, gets both. Yeah, both Adepts go down. Nice pickoffs. Gets 2 Adepts, gets a probe, and does pull back. So nice trades here from Silky. Nice pickoffs. Behind this, Silky is droning. The Oracle is forced back home as there's only 1 Adept to defend. So Creature a little bit scared, a little bit paranoid about losing this position. That does delay Oracle production. That does delay Oracle harass, I should say. And Silky looking solid. It's droning, saturating. Layers on the way. This time Silky does not go for an early Evo chamber. This time going for a Roach Warren instead. So a very different style out of Silky. Very different. Last game, +1 melee was indicative of Link main Hydra. Here, no Evo Chamber, faster Roach Warren. This could be a Roach Ravager heavy composition. If not, this could even be Roach into Hydra into Lurker. We'll see. Going for the much later Evo Chamber. Into +1 range. Was a poke in, they get 1, they get 2 drones, not bad. 2, 3 drones going down, getting it to 4. Oh, as they do overextend, taking a lot of hold damage. The Oracles, they barely do get away. And Creature, he is mixing it up himself, going into charge first. Not blink. Okay, this is a little bit unfortunate. So, Creature's being more aggressive. After what happened in game 1, Creature is like, you know what? I'm not going to be more passive. I'm not going to defend. I'm going to be the aggressor instead. He's going to be in the face of his opponent. The problem here is that Silky is playing roaches. If Silky was cutting corners, if Silky was going Ling Hydra, I can see this working quite well. But Silky's playing safe. He's getting into roaches, into Roach Hydra as well. It's going to be a very robust, very beefy army. This charge timing's going to have a hard time finding any damage. I'm not too convinced, but we'll see. Archon drop is moving out. So it's the Archon drop into the charge follow-up. Roaches are revealed. Creature he was already aware. And Silky, he is double. Oh, no, the prism goes down, flies into the Hydras. Ay, ay, ay. It's a really rough stuff for Creature. Unfortunately, he wasn't aware of the Hydra then. He didn't know. Didn't know he had to be careful. He didn't know he had to be wary of that. He's throwing down a wall of cannons and shield batteries. But this is going to be a tough defense. It's going to be a tough hold. A storm is on the way, but it's not ready yet. Silky, he did double expand it just for Larva. Remember, just for Larva. Silky, he's not droning. He's cutting workers at 62. This is going to be a 3-base all-in. 3-base all-in out of Silky. He commits. He sends it across the map. Now, with some well-placed stasis traps, then maybe... But they're getting baited. There's one stasis left. Getting on top of the Zealots. Yeah, a lot of charge lots are going down. And the army is slowly getting on top of that Immortal. Doesn't quite break through. Yeah, 14 more roaches on the way. And Zealots are being cleaned up. We have more charge lots in production. Creature trying to warp in, but Silky is almost maxed. And we spoke about it. Defensively, charge lots, they don't trade anywhere near as efficiently as Stalkers, for example. Like where Storm was much later. Immortals, they go down, and Silky, he has broken Creature. Creature down to a handful of charge lots. That's all he's got left. And Silky, he's done it. Takes down all the remaining Zealots. GG, well played, and Silky will claim the series 2-0, will advance on into the next round. GG. GG, well played, Silky. He will claim the series. Again, Creature did go for a different style here in game 2. It is unfortunate, though, that he happened to be going up against a roach-heavy composition, right? We had plenty of roaches finishing up there for Silky. Silky, he was already going for a lower economy as well. He was cutting workers at 63, so very low economy, a very high commitment into roaches, and with that, he shut down the initial Archon, and again, charge lots are not ideal defensively. They don't trade anywhere near as efficiently. He wasn't quite set up to be in that kind of position. GG. GG, well played. With that, Silky does take the 2-0, and let's figure out what's going on. Let's figure out where we are.